How many of us have them friends?
9 to 5.
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 I keep telling you,
You
man.
hit record on Zoom yet?
Yes, I'm a professional.
You don't see it?
I'm a professional.
First of all, Torrance, watch your fucking mouth. That's what we're not gonna do.
We gonna start the show with this energy. That's
Yeah,
what we doing today?
yeah.
Absolutely. Because Daniel thinks he's fucking grown because his birthday just passed, so he thinks he's
Right?
grown.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong
Thanks.
with him.
Keyword. Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's lock-in time. Episode 140 of the Senior Black Citizens Podcast. I am your most seniorest black host, Orenthal Jermaine Sellers.
You know what?
Yeah,
If you
Kyle
ever
here.
if you ever have a child, Orenthal. Period. And
Please.
period. That's it. Little O. We don't call him little O.
Yeah, little O.
We call him little O.
Orenthal Jackson. I have to check my heart medication before we
God.
start recording.
You really need help.
Anyways, follow us at 9 to 5 Podcasts and all over the fucking internet, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Also, listen to all of our cool little podcasties as well. The Room, Torrance Got Notes, and You Good. I just dropped a solo birthday boy rant. I don't know what I'm going to call those. Do you have any ideas what I should call those?
When it's just you in the room?
Yeah. Timeout or something.
Yeah, like alone in the room.
When I'm alone in the room.
Come on. Come
when
on.
I'm alone in the room and then I see that it calls.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I think we can noodle on that later at some other point. But how are you all doing today?
I feel black and old.
Do your bones hurt more?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting that little neck piece right here that starts to. I think my shit's starting to go. Like my neck. If you're looking on YouTube, you can see like my little folds is popping.
So you're getting fat.
I'm getting that. Nah, I'm in shape, nigga. I'm just getting that like old black daddy loose neck.
Oh.
Where it's not like, I get it, where it's just crinkle. It's like,
it's a little bit of stress. It's stress. It's wisdom.
It's a little like it shows your age.
Strength.
Did you just wake up on Wednesday with this, or
yes?
So I'm in for this on Sunday.
Danny said yes. I did. I woke up and they were there showing that.
So when I wake up tomorrow, I will see this while I look in the mirror, and then Torrance will see it in August.
Yeah, nigga.
And then you can apparently I heard that you can count the rings and count the tree.
We're like trees.
Like a tree. That's what I heard. So.
It comes at you fast. It's it is what it is. Sorry to tell you, but yes, it's a little bit of additional strength and wisdom that you get, a little bit of extra space. My beard is still not connected yet. That's what it is.
That's never happening, Danny. We're gonna be.
My shit might start connecting.
We're gonna be 62 and your beard still won't connect.
At least my mustache will be strong. I feel like my mustache is gonna be real.
You definitely gonna have a strong Republican stash. I will give you that.
Hairline getting trash. My shit getting, bro.
Yeah,
my shit getting trash.
My shit about to be gone. I just got a haircut yesterday, finally, after 3.5 months.
Yeah, you was getting pretty ugly. I was concerned about.
It was bad. It was bad.
I was like, because I meant to tell you, I was like, damn, Kyle is ugly as fuck.
I wear a hat every time we speak.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I meant to tell you, I was like, so I was about to call you, I was like, bro, like, yo, before I forget, damn, you kind of ugly.
Honestly, like, your words are very hurtful, Danny, and I need you to work on those, okay?
Hurtful, sure, but honest.
I hope you
even better.
I hope you skin your knee this week.
Okay, well.
Did you do anything enjoyable for your birthday?
No. Yeah, I just had people over in the back porch.
The era of Rona?
Yeah, just some back porch vibes with some chicken wings and pizza and alcohol and cigars and so all you really can do in these times. So I'll take it.
I feel that.
Are you doing anything tight for your birthday?
If it's not raining, I think we might like go outside and do like a picnic or something like that. And I think we're gonna do a little game night, me and Paige, but no people.
Damn,
The word picnic, my brother, comes from
Lord.
the
Pick a
white
nigga.
man
Mississippi.
saying, pick a nigga. So we don't say that no more. We said we going outside and we eating outside with a blanket, with a basket, but we ain't calling it a picnic.
So you've been watching Dr. Umar all weekend, huh?
No, I have been. I actually watched quite a few videos of him recently, earlier this week, and I was like, man, you know,
did a kufi automatically appear on top of your head and the laser start shooting out?
Kinda, you know, all I'm saying is, bro, like, as crazy as that man is, he be saying some stuff. Why do we need the white man to paperwork?
This nigga spitting.
Why do we need white man paperwork? Ah, come on. Now that right there, that one sent me. That one took me to the highest place that it could take me.
Donations.
So okay. I know you gave $10. Now you could have given 20, but I know that's all you got.
You should have gave 20.
Well, the funny thing about it is that's how a lot of these preachers be like that. So it's like, I want to cancel that nigga.
I feel some more giving on this side of the room.
I feel like this road right here could get me to 250. Where we at? 250.
Ushers, can we bring the collection plates around one more time, ushers? I feel some more giving in the room. I mean, that's half the reason why. I'm not gonna say half. That's one of the reasons why I stopped going to church, because
I can't afford it.
It felt like the roof fund, the building fund was never like that percentage on the thermometer was never getting higher, even though they do 37 offerings per service, and there's multiple.
They got taxed.
And there's multiple servings per day or whatever services. Nah.
I'm gonna probably get super canceled for saying this, but man, these religions, well, I won't say all religions, but I'm gonna say that these people who are the pastors and the priests and the bishops and the whatever, like mastermind scammers, like truly talented people, having people buying all kinds of stuff,
charismatic,
doing you believe them is really, and you know, another reason why I couldn't, well, not couldn't, but have decided to scale back on my church going is because church is a little culty.
They snake oil salesmen.
Little culty.
I'm gonna start one, I think, in 2028. I think.
Is that when you start going full Kanye?
No, I mean, I'm just get it popping.
Just
have a race out front, just like.
Oh, so you gonna be like Creflo Dollar, but then.
Oh, I'm gonna be fresh. I'm gonna have like, but see, my style is gonna be like the modern joint. So I'm gonna have like the all like jeans and off-white shoes and stuff like that. And, you know, have like a band and stuff.
Got you.
I don't like that.
I mean, yeah, I won't. I might view your first service just to see how bad it is, and then I probably won't go after that.
If you are broke, keep your ass out my church. Now, excuse me for saying this word, but if you are
broke niggas,
leave your ass at home, because
you gonna have a cover at the door to get into your church.
Yeah, we holding the line and everything. Like, hold on, you got the Bible? We got Bible?
Not holding the line. Hey, it's a little crowded right now. We got to wait for people to come out.
We wait for people to the first service.
Got the overflow. The overflow room.
You gonna hold the line? Ain't nobody in there.
If you want to go in the overflow room, you can go in right now.
But that one right there, that actually costs money to go in the overflow room because
standing room only.
The way that this place is, you know.
Now all the seats is gone. We got standing room only. That's 60% of the cover cost instead of full price because it's standing room only.
Yeah.
If you you got any sins? Because if you do have sins that you do want to repent, then you might need that's a little bit of additional.
The bouncer be like, "There's y'all got 5 dudes. You need to even out your ratio before you come."
All y'all sinners? All 5 of y'all niggas are sinners?
No male sinners?
Y'all male sinners?
Ain't no female sinners?
Come if you already baptized, come to the front.
Yeah.
You got a baptism line and a sinners line?
You got a baptism list. You got wait, hold on. Is your name on the baptism
list? Is this the girl, come on.
Did you get baptized?
Is this the baptism line? Is this the
I've been baptized. I did, I promise.
Now the baptism line, that's on that side. How old you, girl? You already baptized, right?
And then they hit him over the head.
I see you in there. I saved you a seat.
Because somebody ain't baptized yet, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm pulling records.
Oh, God.
But then to get a little extra money on the side, I'm going to have like one of my cousins or something selling holy water outside. Like in line.
Flipping them holy waters for sure.
What? Holy water, plates, pound
water.
Cakes, oil.
Fish plates.
Okay.
Pound cake.
All of it. Oh man, I'm telling you, that's the come up. Honestly, if I wasn't, so I guess blessed, I would do some scammy shit.
I just thought about the other thing. That's a tax haven. Yeah, Danny. Matter of fact,
let
me join your church.
You don't gotta pay no taxes.
Yeah, I need to. We gonna talk offline about this. Actually, yeah.
I'm gonna open up a restaurant that's only open on Sunday.
And I'm gonna say this now, Kyle. If your mother hears this, she's going to be pissed. So I'm just gonna say. Sorry, Miss Regina. Sorry.
She'll be all right. I ain't even worried.
What's the black fact?
June 27th in 1872, writer, poet, author Paul Laurence Dunbar is born in Ohio.
Y'all read books still?
Like every once in a blue moon. Not as often as I should.
I don't be reading shit, bro. I feel so bad about it.
I want to start. I actually was talking about this other day, ordering a James Baldwin book because I've only read 2 of them, and I want to read more. So
that's good. Look at you bettering yourself. I'm proud of you.
I'm trying to.
I'm proud of you. Good job.
And it's Pride Month. Gotta support the queer folks.
Yes. Absolutely. Week news
Shout
updates.
Out to all the queer people in the building holding it down. Torrance. News
all right. In the news, shout out to everyone who is taking upon themselves to tear down the Confederate statues that are still standing in a Union space.
Make it make sense.
Just make it make sense, Your Honor. Please. But shout out to everyone who's taken upon themselves to do that. Shout out to the governments who are saying, yeah, we're going to take these down. Shout out to people who are holding themselves accountable for their actions, whether that be, and I'm not going to pretend like people don't know that they're doing this shit, but I'm going to just say it so that whatever. But like people who are doing fucked up shit that's unbeknownst to them, but also people who are being like, oh, we got caught. Let me make these changes. Because at the end of the day, even if you got caught and you decide to make those changes, it's bringing a better life for generations to come. So I'm appreciative of even you standing in your guilt. People are pissed off about wearing these masks and you the devil.
I can't breathe.
Let me tell you, there is a video of these people in Palm Beach.
Was that Florida, the public hearing?
Child screaming. Oh. You should be ashamed of yourself. You and all of you should all be locked up. You're making us wear a mask.
You should not have a medical license. You need to get your stuff revoked.
Who think there's like a penis attached to the mask? These motherfuckers are freaking out.
It's really fun.
Over a thin slice of material.
It is quite hilarious to watch, like, the comparison they're doing between them and people from Parks and Rec, like in town hall meetings and shit. Like, and like someone like mirrored the videos right next to each other. It was like going back and forth.
I never watched that show.
So Parks and Rec is great.
If you like YouTube Parks and Rec, like hearings or something like that, like their community hearings or whatever, like people would be saying the most off the wall shit, like kind of what they're saying.
Yeah.
With this, like, you're messing up my God-given respiratory system.
No, that's the crazy. First of all, it's like some of y'all people smoke cigarettes. Some of y'all like, don't even get fresh air.
The masks don't stop you from breathing. It's like, how do you think surgeons wear masks while they're doing these marathon surgeries and stuff like that? Like, it's not blocking your oxygen flow.
My doctor doesn't allow me to wear a mask. You're messing with federal law. Girl, get your ass out the Trader Joe's. Right? Get your ass out the Trader Joe's.
Well, the crazy thing about it is, like, bro, first of all, okay, if stores have, a lot of them have curbside pickup where you can order ahead and it might be a small fee, but you can get they'll shop for you. And that was something before Corona.
Yep.
Before.
And secondly, if I know that I have to wear a mask, which I'm not a huge fan of having to wear a mask, but you do it, just get in and get out of the store. I mean, if you have a list, it shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole like rush of the store taking forever now, like that's beyond.
Oh
us.
no, Store stress me out. I've been trying to get in and out, and I have a list.
Right. So like before, when everything was going down, the lines were crazy long, and so maybe sure whatever. But now it's like it's back to normal to a degree. I think. From what I'm
well, yeah, like. Here, a lot of the grocery stores like limit how many people can come in at one time anyway. So like,
right. So you just
I'll go to a Trader Joe's. It's like one person in, one person out type of thing.
Out of your whole day, you got to wear a mask for 15, 20 minutes of your day.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
The fuck out.
It's not that deep.
I saw some chick in North Hollywood.
Yes, I saw that one today.
That's what I'm talking about.
That shit was so fun. I'm like, man,
at the top of her lungs.
And what respiratory issue you have that you can scream like you're Fantasia,
right?
At the BT.
if you have a respiratory issue that's so serious that you can't wear a mask at the grocery store, you shouldn't be leaving your house. Like,
right?
You might as well just stay home because Corona gonna kill your ass. Clearly,
Corona's coming from that
Fantasia octave, like.
Jennifer Hudson volumes.
Oh.
But the other thing is, like, would you rather wear a mask for an hour at a time, or would you rather be on a ventilator? Like,
and half of them aren't even young people. Like, y'all motherfuckers are 50-something plus, out of shape, complaining about some fucking. If you have a respiratory issue, then that's even more of a reason why your ass shouldn't be walking around
out
chilling.
In the stores with no mask on, girl. What the hell are you talking about?
Go have somebody else go to the fucking store.
You have a pre-existing condition.
Issue.
Can we just send all these people to like the state of Florida or like
please,
a leper colony or something?
Just bash them on down there. I'm telling you, Florida's just, whoo, child. And she probably from Florida. I wouldn't put it past the white ass. Wouldn't put it past the white ass.
Yeah, it's just tight.
It's
shout out to all the upset white people about. Yes.
American and United Airlines are starting to book these full flights again. However, which is going to be funny because the world's about to shut down again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I won't say the world because the world is being smarter than the United States.
The U.S.
That's it. Let me be very clear.
The world is shutting the U.S. out. We can say that.
Yes, the world is keeping us where we at right now, which is kind of frightening.
Away from us.
It's smart as hell, but also frightening as fuck because
the EU isn't going to allow Americans in. When they reopen up in a couple weeks, I think, or something like that.
Africa Ben said no, and Africa will still say no.
I don't blame them.
It's just crazy, like, hearing y'all's president say like, yeah, I made them stop doing all that testing shit because too many people kept coming back positive, and I don't fuck with that. So,
I told him to slow down.
I told him, nah,
too loud.
He said, y'all, nah, bro, they keep doing all this shit, and people keep coming back positive. Like, why would you keep getting tested if you come back positive? That's crazy. So I was like, this is quite interesting. Like, this is like,
said, y'all doing a little bit too much.
Too much tested.
Shut that shit down.
Come on, bro. Nah, chill out.
I don't want to know.
Man, watch out. That's what he said.
I don't want to know.
Exactly.
If you play me, please don't let it. Is that Donnell? Who sings that song?
No, that's some random person.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was, but I can think of like every word of that song.
Niggas used to go out bad in the late 90s, early 2000s. Niggas was going out so bad.
Sad, real sad boys. But whatever.
Summer rain.
But yeah, so we're gonna see how it goes. Gen Z is trolling Trump in a very fantastical way. Apparently, they've been fake RSVPing for his rallies. The one that did he hold it on Juneteenth? Is that what he did?
It was on the 20th. They moved it back from Juneteenth.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. What's the cart abandoning? What is that?
So they'll go to Trump's website or whatever, and then they'll put a bunch of merchandise in their shopping carts, and then they'll just leave the website. So in advertising, a lot of companies. So say you go to Nike.com, right? You put a pair of Jordans in your cart, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you leave Nike.com and don't come back to it, they'll start serving you with ads.
Oh yeah,
or whatever, because you're a cart abandoner.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to get you to come back to the website
back
to complete your
it,
purchase. So that's money that they're spending on advertising to you to then buy their product. So they're making Trump spend money on advertising to them, knowing damn well that they're not going to vote for him, or some of them probably can't even vote because they're not 18. But it's like making his campaign spend money on an audience that doesn't give a fuck about
I didn't even know, but I heard about the.
Yeah, it's making him spend his money.
Let me go on incognito right quick and add some shit to the cart.
Mm-hmm. It's like real smart. Like
this would be like fake shopping. Ooh, okay, what size is that? Oh, it's large.
Mm-hmm.
Extra large.
Yeah, it's tight.
Let me get some 2XL shit in there.
Niggas love do that. Old black ladies will window shop your ass to death, boy. That's like their fucking. Oh my God, brother, trying everything on. That's my childhood is fitting rooms. Just like
sitting outside of
shit on.
Absolutely.
And then you take it back. Oh, they got an 8 in this?
Does this come in a light blue?
Right.
I'm not a fan of this purple.
I'm gonna ask them if they got some more colors in the back. What?
Right.
You think they just got colors?
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Get the other one. What's the other one that I said?
I want to.
When they use that tone, it's over with. Okay. You be hungry. You been this bitch starving. You haven't eaten since. You didn't eat before because she didn't even tell you she was going shopping. So now
you thought it was gonna be a quick trip to the store.
Yeah, you fucking iron deficient and shit on the ground like them little kids in Ethiopia and shit. It's like, oh, we'll be done in a minute. You'll be done soon. You'd be like, mother, please let me fucking go. It'd be like 6-7 hours hurt. Did I take it too far? I'm sorry.
A little bit.
That's how it be. When you shop with your mother, that bitch for 7 hours, like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
You just said you're going to be out there like starving Marvin, though. That's unacceptable, Daddy.
I'm dying. I'm 6 years old, starving for my fucking life. And we in this bitch trying on blouses and tank tops for half of a work day.
Torrance, what else is happening?
And then they buy like one, like, you know what? Let's go. He's like, hold on. You better buy something in this motherfucker. Fuck that.
I'm going to come back later.
whole summer in this fucking dressing room. Fuck this.
Don't sit at a Kohl's bar. Don't do that.
Pissed off.
Well, you can say that one, but not the other part that you said. The House have approved DC's statehood. So
gang.
So we might.
I mean, we're not, but
we might.
If you keep gentrifying them, white people, they gon' we want our voice to be heard.
It's not because it's too democratic. So it would require a Democratic president, a Democratic controlled Senate, and a Democratic controlled House. We only have one of those three things.
If DC becomes where them white people live.
I mean, it already is. It's not Chocolate City no more.
Right.
So,
but yeah, for them crackers.
We just need all three of those things. But this is the farthest it's ever been for DC statehood. So,
did you say that?
Danny, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You need help, Danny. You need real help.
It's been 5 minutes, bro. Like 5 minutes, and you just been cutting up for like.
I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah.
Who did?
You did.
Kyle. Who's you?
You, nigga, the one that lives in DC. I didn't say that.
Oh, I didn't say that. But yeah,
okay, but we can rewind the tape and clearly see that you said it.
In sports, the NBA.
That's
the NBA
the
will
issue.
Be back and
me being unemployed isn't good for anybody.
Clearly,
it's not good for anybody.
When you were employed, your brain was tied up, right? It was tied up in a sense. It was the level of
He's not having to waste brain power on thinking about making sales quotas and stuff. All that brain power is going towards his negativity now.
Negativity.
Okay, like
this is time to get real negative right now. This is the moment. The world's already in. That's the thing too. If you get canceled now, it's a really good chance that the world is ending anyway. So it's like you get canceled. It's the 11th hour.
Valid.
Well, I saw the video with the locusts, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The locust is coming, y'all. So get ready over there. They don't really be making it over here, I don't think, but they over there.
Revelation's gonna happen real soon. Don't worry.
It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be like, God, I'm a little queer. Like I'm a little. Is that okay? They ain't been saying it. Like I could have fun. Like I can.
You gonna be like, is this the gay night? Is this the?
Can I still come here? Is this? Can I? It's fine. It's fine.
You're a fool.
So Tuesdays of Revelations is the gays. Y'all
okay, so I'm gonna come. I
gotta come back on Tuesday.
Come back.
Just survive until Tuesday. Okay.
So the question is, when was the last time I was with a woman? Okay, so that was. So does that mean that I get entrance if it's closer in timeline?
Yeah, come back first. You gotta come first thing though. So.
I come early.
Back first thing, then you straight. But don't wait till after 12:30.
You gotta come immediately when we open, so that
you get your ticket, get your stamp.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your stamp. You gotta get stamped first.
It's free until 9:45.
Yeah, and then you can roam around.
You'll be straight. But if you don't get the stamp by when we open, it ain't too much I could do.
We don't got that many. The straight ink. It's about to dry up, so you might need.
I'm not the owner. My daddy, he the owner, so I can help you out.
He ain't here right now, but I make decisions.
But he gonna be in there.
All right, hold out on the side real fast. I'm gonna let these people in because they already.
Yeah,
if you are baptized, come to the front. This is the baptized line. If you are not baptized, get out of this line. And go to the other line.
Sorry.
What happened in sports, Torrance?
I apologize.
Nothing's happened in sports.
Nothing happened in sports, but maybe.
That's the news.
NBA is supposed to be back. Supposed to be.
Is it June 30th? It's June 30th, right?
July. I think it's June.
Or is it July 30th?
June is 3 days from now.
Tomorrow.
Fuck, you're right. So it's July 30th. July 30th.
Yeah. We are in June.
We're gonna get Clippers-Lakers on night one, which will be nice.
Yeah, and that's gonna probably be the last.
I'm gonna tell you this though,
because they're gonna all be sick.
I don't think they're gonna get to the opening. Honestly, they already said that 16 players have shown like this week have gotten the Rona, and we ain't even gotten to the bubble yet in Orlando. I
would say probably most of them aren't taking the quarantine super serious.
Oh no, not at all.
So I would assume that leading 3-4 weeks, maybe this time next month's gonna be too late. But I say like midway through July, a lot of those guys are probably gonna be taking it a lot more serious. Hopefully they're in Orlando at that point, because that's the thing. It's hard to train and play basketball without other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I would.
Plus, it has a 1 to 2 week gestation period, so it's like.
Right.
But the thing is, it just fucks up so much, like respiratory, like you know what I mean. Like it can really do damage if you don't take care of it. If you are.
Oh, absolutely. Even with professional athletes.
Even with the professional athletes with all this money you got, like.
Or the fact that they're in tip-top shape too.
Yeah,
like
in the best of shape. Like
they're not an 80-year-old person who's about to die anyway.
So okay. So I don't know. I'm very very intrigued to see if that's actually going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Speaking of the NBA, Vince Carter has also said, "I'm tired."
Truth is out.
I'm gonna tell you what, though.
The insanity, boy.
Vince is by far one of my favorite people I've ever watched, like in my life.
Mm-hmm. I wore 15 because of him in middle school.
Yeah, like he, by far.
Yeah, we forgot how big he was.
How amazing he, like, really, truly, like. That man,
he was that dude.
Like, truly. And I just feel like, damn, man, like, you old as hell. You deserve this.
I do feel bad that he didn't get like his full last lap. Like it was cut short, but I at least appreciate that he got like a last bucket in his final game and that type of stuff. I thought that was nice. So
yeah, I think going back to that doc he had on Netflix, it's like when he was with the Raptors, that was 20-something years ago. Like those kids are now in high school and are coming. Like you see a lot of these Canadian-born kids in the league now, and a lot of that influence is from Vince Carter.
It's Vince Carter, yeah.
So what's his name? Kid with the Knicks.
Boy. There's a good number of young players coming out of Canada nowadays.
Wiggins, a lot of cats that have come out of Toronto, even specifically.
Yeah.
That are like around that age of growing up, literally in elementary school, whatever, and Sandy and having that Raptors team there. So it's dope to see the influence of and then just as a legend like Vince was, and to be able to reinvent himself within the league for as long, because he
stay in the league,
right? Because he wasn't jamming on niggas the last 10 years or so, but
he was that savvy vet.
Right.
Yeah.
Some teams just need an old dude on the bench.
Right.
Like we said earlier, he got them lines.
Yeah, he got hella rings on his neck
and shit. It's like, look, nigga, I've been through some shit.
I've been through some things.
Got the razor bump scars. You done seen some things.
The worst part is he has some teammates that he's been in the league longer than they've been alive. Like,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's what's crazy.
What's it, 22 years? I mean, there's plenty of niggas that's 19, 20.
So shout out to Vince Carter for being one of the greatest ever. There was a controversy of NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace and the noose that was hanging down from the garage.
That was a damn noose. That wasn't no damn pull string for
it. It was definitely a noose. And I mean, sure, I guess we can trust the FBI, yada yada yada.
Who said that?
People just been talking about something that came from that, whatever.
Who have been saying that? Who said
I'm being sarcastic.
I don't trust no FBI.
Right. I'm being sarcastic.
I
think it looked very noosey. I would assume if the noose is such an efficient way to pull a garage down, then we would at least have seen other garages with the fucking noose.
Not just Bubba's. The one black NASCAR driver.
I don't understand how. I would love to see the documentation of the report.
I would like
to see how they came to that conclusion. But until we get that, I like how Bubba responded to it. It's like, look, honestly, it's not my job to fucking figure out who did what, and if that's what they came to as a decision, I guess I'll live.
And it's not like he was the one that came out and said that there was a noose in his stall at that point. Anyway, it was brought to his attention. So
and it's like ultimately, I'm here to push the narrative of equality forward, and it is what it is. And I bought me a Bubba Wallace T-shirt.
Yeah, I need to go get one because I think it's super. I didn't even know he was in NASCAR, but
I didn't either until a couple weeks ago.
Black people, we always ride for each other, so he got hella fans now.
Now he got fans, and it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Bubba Wallace.
You just wait till the fall when I get my Bubba Wallace race car jacket.
Oh, it's over with.
We bringing race jackets back.
Over with, bro.
Race car jackets and felines. I'm telling you, that's the early 2000s. That was the Florida nigga. It was Dickies, race car jackets, and mid-top felines. Every Florida nigga had that. You know what's another disgusting Florida nigga fit that y'all would think is crazy?
What?
Florida niggas used to wear like weight training vests. Like, you go to Lowe's and you see like the people that are lifting up logs and shit.
Yes.
Have them like vests.
Yes.
Niggas used to wear like the vest, like
for what purpose?
Almost like tactical vests, but they weren't. But it sounds crazy.
Just to have on.
Niggas used to wear that in Jacksonville, Florida. Niggas used to rock that shit because it almost looked like it was like a tactical vest, but it's like, sir, there's no.
Can we remove Florida as the 50th state and replace it with DC?
We can just do a shuffle.
Can we just do that already?
We'll just like.
No, it's like, or like, can we like literally like saw it off?
There's like a copy and paste thing I think you can do on a computer. I think.
He used to wear like tactical. It was weird. It was like big ass tall tees and like.
So that was you back in the day?
No.
That's what you was on?
Cincinnati,
Danny?
sir.
Yeah, but you was in Florida.
I'm not a part of this Negro.
You did this
I had a couple pair of felines, and I forget. Cause I always wore like Abercrombie and House. Like I was wearing the fitted tees before niggas thought it was cool, and then niggas started to rock the fitted tees and shit.
I used to get teased. People are like, damn, why your clothes so tight? I'm like, they fit me, so it's okay.
Nah, your clothes were extra medium, Torrance.
But my clothes fit me, ho.
Yeah, you a baby T nigga for sure.
I wasn't. My clothes fit me. That's what it was. My clothes
I'm saying, but when you go
like your clothes be baggy and you be swimming in yours.
Button, like, damn,
You've never seen the bottom of my motherfucker. You know what, Danny? I'm not doing this with y'all. Y'all won't slander me on this good on
the bottom of your stomach cold, man.
Good Saturday. Actually, I hate y'all.
Time to get real toxic. But no, shout out to Baby T. Shout out to Dickies. Niggas was definitely rocking. I had a couple pair of Dickies. Shout out to Jabos too. Did y'all ever have Jabos? I had a couple pair of Jabos.
No, not never.
That was a fucking slap. That should definitely come back. Jabos one of those brands that all it's gonna take is one of these rapper niggas like an ASAP Rocky or a Kanye or something to collab
to come back.
And I every probably 6 months I'll check their website to see if I'm dead. I will.
You were waiting for the Jabos to come back.
I know, bro. Jabos were so big. In such a moment.
I feel like it was like very early 2000s when they were like super super big. I remember that, but we were like,
I had the jean with the beige straps. I had the black on black, the all murdered out black denim with the black straps. That was a fucking killer. I had black with the blue straps. I had the shorts. I was going crazy with the fucking Jabos.
Well, I hope they come back for your sake.
I'm telling you, bro. I mark my words. Jabos gonna come back. If I ever see him in a thrift shop, I'm copping them, and I might have to tailor them, but I'm gonna still cop. Everything was like at least 38 and
right. Way too damn big.
They were never meant for people to wear. Who fit them? It's just too much fabric. Like there's just so much fabric.
So thick around the ankles. Like
there's just so much fabric down there. Like you could have
too much.
I could have made a whole other fucking pair of pants with these. Wow, that's crazy. That is insane. Entertainment. There are white voice actors who are doing these animated characters that are doing or playing black animated characters or stepping down to create space and opportunity for black animated voiceover actors and actresses, and it's great to see. I think that some people, I don't know, I like the idea of creating that space for sure, and I think that we deserve to be in that space a lot more because the representation that we have is slim to none.
Yes,
in these spaces. So I'm excited to see it. I'm disappointed that some of those voices that I have grown to like in these characters will be gone, but definitely happy that
the
space is being created.
I guess it's not a bad thing, but it's kind of like you're already rich as fuck off these characters doing this work for years and years, and I don't know. It's kind of
still gonna get your royalty check.
It's the least that you can do, I guess, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think, niggas should have been voicing these people to begin with, and I would hope that not only is there now one opening to be Cleveland on Family Guy, but like there's more black ass cartoons from black people to just thinking about how impactful the Boondocks were and are. And even if it's not just the Boondocks, but the fact that there's no other real blackety black cartoon like that, like the Proud Family.
There is one on Cartoon Network called Craig of the Creek.
Yeah, Craig of the Creek.
It's like a main black character, black family. Terry Crews does the voice of the dad. Lil Rel like voices his uncle. So they use like black actors and voice actors
That's
and stuff
good.
like that. But there's not enough. We need more.
Yeah, like who really knows? I don't know. I just know some of these bangers that like really were good. It's like I want the same amount of writing and production dollars and marketing dollars.
Yes.
For these shits as I'm seeing on The Simpsons and Family Guy and South Park and all this kind of shit, and that same level of respect. So, sure, thank you, white man, for stepping down.
Yeah, I mean, like this isn't what we asked for. Like we just wanted police to stop killing us and getting away with it. But I guess if this is
I'm
like,
gonna tell you what.
I guess if this is like a collateral win, I guess we'll take it. But
and this may sound rude and this may sound bad, and maybe I'm jumping on Danny's cancel train, but white people gonna figure out any other way but to give somebody their rights. They're gonna figure out any motherfucking way to give you everything but what you asked for, sir. I asked for Coke. Well, we have ginger ale. We got you like ginger ale, don't you? You like ginger ale.
He didn't even offer you Pepsi. Just say or RC Cola.
I think I saw you one day drinking a ginger ale in here, so I'm gonna give you this ginger ale. Well, sir, I just want a Coca-Cola. That's what I want. I want Coca-Cola.
Water it is.
Water, exactly. They never gonna give me what I want.
It's like realtors are gonna stop calling it the master bedroom.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't give a fuck about that.
First of all, if I put tens of thousands of dollars and got paying $1,000 every month, I am the master of this motherfucker. Right? So, just kiss my ass. This is my shit.
John Legend, Alicia Keys versus battle.
Did y'all watch it?
I watched like a snippet of it only because I was busy.
I thought it was actually good. I watched the whole thing. They switched it up so you could watch it on the Versus Instagram channel. They were together in the same room. They had like back-to-back pianos and stuff like that. But then I think this is the first one where you could actually watch it on Apple Music. So I had it playing. I had it playing on my TV through the Apple Music app on my Apple TV or whatever, so that I could still use my phone to tweet and be on my laptop doing whatever I wanted and stuff like that. And they had a social feed, so you could still see people tweeting and stuff like that. I will say, Alicia, she didn't really perform that much. So like some of the songs they would just play off their laptop, just like play the MP3. Some of them they would start playing on the piano, and then they might sing a little bit, and then sometimes they would get up and stand and sing like closer to the camera with the actual mic. Whenever Alicia did that, she was lip singing. Like she wasn't actually singing when she got up closer. She would hold the mic down here, and I was very grateful for that. Honestly,
I was about to say, and
I was very grateful.
If you know me, you know that I do love Alicia Keys. I think Alicia Keys has come out with some fantastic music over the years. I'm an Alicia Keys fan. But I'm going to tell you what, her lip singing in that moment was a break for all of us. And I'm thankful for it. So now I know that when I go back to listen, I'll be...
You called Alicia Keys Bobby Brown?
More like Belle Biv DeVoe.
Shit, you got...
Currently. Not
throwback.
Songs in A minor, not the early Alicia.
Not the early Alicia, like Diary and all that. Yeah. Like no. That's rich. The
other crazy thing is like I think people forgot how crazy both of their catalogs are and like how deep both their catalog. Like John Legend started off with playing I can't remember which song it was, but a song off of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
That he was on?
He played the piano on it, like when he was in college. Like, I forgot which track it was, but that was his opening song. And people were like, what? John Legend was on that? Huh?
I'm trying to think.
That's what's been cool about it.
He played the actual piano that
was it like an intense piano part?
I honestly can't remember. Okay. I'll have to look it up later.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
That's what's been kind of really this shit, because it's like you forget and you learn like they did write this or they were a part of this.
Yeah, or like he played like American Boy by Estelle and Kanye, like he wrote that. And he didn't even use anything off of his like most 2 or 3 recent albums either.
See, and I like that. I'm gonna have to go and listen to it for real, because
it was like a really really good battle. Like Alicia has some hits. Boy. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be hard to beat Alicia.
Some of them I had forgotten about. And then I went back on Friday, maybe earlier this week actually, and I was playing both of their catalogs like throughout the workday just to remind myself of all their music.
How great it is. Yeah.
And I think the next versus battle is Jadakiss versus Fabulous, which I won't be turning into. Honestly, I don't care too much about either of them. But
Jadakiss.
Yeah, I might listen.
I still haven't forgiven Jadakiss for wearing the paper towel around his head. So, and Fabulous for that matter too. They both did that bullshit.
I like Fabulous. I think
I like early 2000s Fabulous and some of his random hits here and there.
I might be a Fabulous fan, and I don't know it yet.
I don't know enough Fabulous deep cuts though.
They was talking about him old domestic violence.
Mm-hmm. That too.
Oh, I didn't see. That's some sound. No,
yeah, now look at you. Now you condemn.
But I'm saying I don't mean I don't like his music. There is. This is not going to serve the listeners no justice today, but for us, there is a Roots picnic tonight.
On
online, like a virtual one. On this good Saturday.
How is that going? So, how that work? So they all gonna be in their own spots performing, or
I
like
have
the
no idea
together?
how this is working. I just know that Michelle Obama, she finna be there and speaking. Is her, Lil Baby, Roddy Ricch, SZA, Kirk Franklin, Snow Alger. It's about to be some people. Music Soul Child, Janelle Monáe. Yeah, people just coming through to this event.
I wonder how they're gonna do that.
I don't know. I'm very unsure how that.
And then the BET Awards are this weekend too.
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't know about that.
They're digital, I think, or it's all online or something.
Girl, Amanda's hosting.
Amanda Seales is hosting it.
Oh.
So bad about how I feel about Amanda Seales. I feel like if she was my friend, I feel like I would always defend her because I feel like she would mean well. Mm-hmm. Like if someone was like, hey, whatever, that's my homegirl. She means well. But I like her in Insecure, but I've thought about following her on social media. Like before I follow people, a lot of times I like look at their feed and like look at the content. And I think it's just something about, I don't know. It's just like maybe it's the energy, maybe it's just like
it
in interviews,
unapologetically like forward in the way that she speaks. She's
and it's like if you knew her,
period.
Right. If you, I feel like if that was your home girl, whatever, you knew her, you would be like, that's just kind of how she is.
That's just how she talks.
I think she just ends up rubbing people the wrong way sometimes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She's gone off on a couple of cliff is the wrong word, but she's done some things where it's just like real wrong. Like she accused like Myron Rolle of like sexual assault or something like that when she wasn't even involved in the situation and it was wrong. Like there's been some missteps on her side.
So I think I enjoy the things that she does say because sometimes she says some really great stuff and it's really thought provoking and very like, okay, cool, like this rocks.
And that's why she left The Real.
Yeah,
she was on that for like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, but I enjoyed, I enjoy her in that capacity. But I do think that there's a point where she does rub people the wrong way, and sometimes she's very unapologetic about the things that she says, and sometimes that's problematic in many spaces because if you're wrong, there's this level of I guess receptiveness that has to come from that. And I've seen or other people have said based on their experiences, like just talking about her, it's been like, oh, she doesn't apologize if she's wrong. If she's wrong, she just kind of says, okay, well, but still, not really kind of accepting fault into some of the things that she says that are incorrect or inaccurate.
Yeah.
Not like her special was decent. That came out, I think, 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, on HBO. That was a good
it wasn't bad. Yeah. Better than I thought it was going to be, which, not to say I was like thought she was going to do bad, but just most specials aren't that great.
Did you watch Yvonne Orgy's?
I did.
Did
you watch hers?
Yeah,
how was it?
I think it was very culturally specific, and that is what made it very funny to me. And like certain parts made it funnier because it was like based on her specific, like being Nigerian, but then also being American, and like I think
one of the things I struggle with is going to watch comedy specials from people who I don't know as comedians. Generally, like I know Yvonne Orgy as I hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. But yeah, I know her as an actress. I've never seen her do anything in the comedy
started out.
realm.
The funny thing, she started out as a comedian, and she wasn't. I don't think she had any acting real credits
before
other
Insecure.
than like maybe small shit before Insecure.
Yeah, so see, like I didn't know her as a comedian, so for me, it's just it felt like a weird switch. Transition over.
And she opened up for Chris Rock when for his special Tambourine.
That's
came out 2 years ago. But yeah, I think it was like Torrance. I pretty much agree exactly what Torrance said. It's like I'm black, but I'm not African. Or I'm not a direct like immigrant from Africa.
Yes.
So it was like you could appreciate it because it's like, oh, these are still some very cultural things that you could understand that are funny, universal, whatever. But yeah, it's just different. It was different. It was a very educated, African specific set. It wasn't a whole lot of.
I could rock with
that
stuff.
It was zero, fucking jokes or it wasn't a lot of that. So it was a little bit more PG than I typically would watch. But it was a good overall. I enjoyed it.
Have you watched the new Eric Andre stand-up
I did.
special
I watched that
on Netflix?
Too.
Was that good? I haven't watched it yet, but it looked from the preview it looked funny.
I think
his humor's a lot though. So
I was never really a huge Eric Andre fan. Not to say like being a comedian now, it's kind of like it changes how you look at things because you realize there's just so many different audiences, and some of these people can be really successful within their audience and do their thing. For me, Eric Andre seems like somebody that you might have to be in person a little bit more to appreciate their comedy because it's so physical, and sometimes what they're saying really isn't profound at all or barely profound. It's just like he's giving you that energy in the moment. So it was very like Odd Future-y, like white, black dude that hangs out with white boys, does drugs, and has some jokes. He has some funny like little act outs and like things within the set that were different that honestly made the special probably more entertaining because sometimes when you get these specials and they're just talking for 55 minutes at a time, you tend to like check your phone a little bit and like kind of zone out if it's not like bangers, you know what I'm saying?
Hit each and every time. Yeah.
I thought it was good overall. I watched it. He definitely had some moments of like, oh, that's pretty fucking good, and other moments is like, this is kind of bro-ish, but
cool.
It was unique. It was unique in its own way, which I'm sure that's what he fucking cares about.
Yeah. And that concludes the weekly news update.
We don't have a break. This podcast is brought to you by I don't know, Netflix specials, I guess,
or Jabos.
Or I guess we weren't supposed to actually use actual brands. Yeah, this is brought to you by the Club Line into Heaven.
Okay.
Get there before 12:30.
So you can get
free before 11.
Yeah. It's Pride Month. Shout out to all the queer people out there.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting Pride Month. Usually it's full of parties and drinking and laughing and all that stuff, parades and celebratory things. And I think it has been an interesting one this year, not as celebratory as it has been, I think. But I think what has been brought to light is the intersectionality of Black and queer people and how we exist in these spaces and have a voice, deserve to be heard, deserve to be, have our, all lives matter, all Black lives matter, really. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
I know.
Little Maggie, buddy.
I had this conversation the other day, and my friend was like, I'm gonna fucking slip up. He's like, I'm gonna slip up and just say it. And I mean to say all Black lives matter, but he said, I'm gonna just say it out one time. We talking, and I'm just like, no, and it's gonna be bad. And I just did that. But no, really showing how important we are, not only to just as Black people, but also to the culture, right? Like to the culture, like queer people have existed and created and manifested so many different works of art that have touched many people, straight, queer, doesn't matter where you fall in that orientation spectrum. It is something that you can relate to some capacity. So I am I'm hopeful for. What's it silly to say? I'm hopeful for the possibility of Black people, Black cis straight, Black folk acknowledging queer people of color, queer Black folks in the conversation, in the marches, in the those conversations. I think that is when we as a people, as Black people, will truly win, when we stop hating each other. Just
absolutely.
Yeah, I was when people were over for my birthday, we were talking about the J. Cole stuff, with No Name, and I think it's somewhat bled into Pride and LGBT people. And yeah, man, I think it's one of those things where even if you're somebody that did not grow up around, at least out people that were queer or whatever, or just chose not to interact with those kind of people, now is the time where it's hard to still deny those people. Like, you have to be, because it's hard to, because like the analogy that I was using was talking about, as a Black man, it's hard to swallow that pill of, I have a privilege even though I'm getting my ass beat. I guess it's hard within that same fucking sentence to be like, I'm privileged. How the fuck am I privileged? Niggas like me are getting killed every day, or yada yada, whatever. I'm getting pulled over. I'm not getting jobs. I'm getting accused of all this shit. And I mean, there still is a privilege that we have.
Absolutely.
And that goes to women, Black women. That goes to LGBTQ folks. And yeah, like it doesn't feel good to feel like you. It initially might not feel good that you have that responsibility and that privilege, similar to that liberal white chick who voted for Bernie Sanders and Obama and volunteers, but for some reason never hires a Black person, and all that kind of shit. Like that ownership in those intersections that we talked about in the past, like those shits exist.
Yes.
And so we were just talking about that, and it just it's not a great feeling initially, and I think it's taught me how to approach others that, especially a white woman, that even though historically white women have benefited tremendously, and it may or may not be the same parallel depending on how you feel, it's still like, I don't know, for some reason it's helped me understand how can I get that message to white people, white dudes, white chicks.
Yeah, how can you convey what privilege is and how you benefit from privilege?
Because you understand,
levels to it.
Because initially when someone tells you that, you feel attacked. Like, hold on, bro. Like, whether it's the white boy that says, I grew up middle class, my daddy was on fucking heroin, or white chick who says, yada yada. And so it's like that initial, like, hold on, bro. Like, I'm privileged. What the fuck?
It's like when they say like straight Black men are the white men of Black people.
Right. Exactly.
Essentially.
Whoa. And it doesn't feel good.
A lot of people don't like that phrase, but like when you like boil it down to like the general gist of it, it's accurate.
And it's going to keep, and as a society,
I peeked through my blinds, like,
right. And I think
y'all accepted it yet? Y'all accepted it yet? Okay.
What's going to be interesting is, as Black society becomes more self-aware, I think it's going to come to the next people that have to realize it might be Black women amongst trans women. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a Black woman, I don't know the proper term, cis, or I'm just a straight Black chick, and I'm an older Black lady, or whatever. I'm straight as a fucking pencil, but I'm not riding for trans Black women. There's gonna be that same level of realization. Like, hold on, well, fuck, I gotta ride for my trans women too, or my trans men too. So like, I think it's all gonna come full circle. We all just gotta realize, and the point of my conversation, kind of where it ended on my birthday, was like, we just gotta be ready for everything that is Black. Period. And just be like, and the thing with J. Cole, that at first I'm like, man, don't apologize for shit, because as a comedian, that's kind of where my heart is always at when it comes to art. It's like, I'm not apologizing because my intentions were this. Maybe you might have seen it as this, but these are my intentions. But I think where J. Cole, from my opinion at least, where he fucked up, even if he felt like she did subtweet him first and all this kind of shit, is that right now, this is a black moment. And it is not smart, and it's rude, and is whatever, untimely to say anything that is not for this blackity black agenda, period. This is not the time to criticize.
It's not a time for divisiveness.
Black. Right, exactly. Because we need it's like David and Goliath. It's like little giants. It's like, you know, it's like whatever underdog story. We need every single piece of energy that we, and weapon and voice and dollar and vote, that we possibly can muster up to move the thing along.
Because white people are doing it. White people don't do that. They've been doing
exactly.
that.
Yep.
I don't agree. You know, there are white people who do not agree with what is happening right now in this world, will still vote for that white motherfucker. Like, that's just is what it is. Because he's white, they will still defend whiteness to a major degree, regardless of whether they think it's right or not, simply because they are white. And I think that this level of loyalty that white people have to each other, black people have it.
They don't.
We don't. Well, I would say, yeah, exactly. Not in the masses, no. But I feel like there is a space, and I think this is the space now, like that, like you were saying, Danny, like this is the space now to create that space, to walk into those spaces and say, like, or, you know, or, like I said, or even create that space and be like, I don't understand your story, and I could never understand your story because I'm still trying to figure out my own story. But I see you, and I stand with you for existing in this world as a black person.
Literal exact same thing that we're asking white people to do with black people. It's like black people just need to do it with other black people who aren't in their same gender identity, aren't in their same sexual orientations, people who don't.
And those are the two things, really.
Or even like people who don't live in the same socioeconomic bubble as you. It's like intersectionality is real. It's like we're all black at the end of the day. So root for everybody black.
Yeah.
That's the first barrier to.
That's the first thing you see. That's the first thing someone sees.
Right. I could have a dick or not have a dick, or, you know, like dicks.
But you wouldn't know that.
Shit, but you don't know that until you peel back a couple more layers, which might be important layer. What do you say?
I said, you don't know that living. I mean, you don't know what I want. You don't know what I want. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what I want. You gotta peel back some more layers to try to figure that out. And but I'm gonna see that your fucking the waves on your head and your black ass skin and a full beard. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see that first from a glance. You know, I'm gonna see that name with Torrance. I'm gonna, you know, this is not too many white Torrance. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see black headshots on LinkedIn. I'm gonna see those things before you get into the job. That's why I like. Yeah, I mean, I think there's gonna be so much fucking good literature and history and the things to get from this time, because you got a pandemic,
absolutely.
You got election, you got pride, you got fucking racial revolution. All within 6 months. That, like, I know we all feel overwhelmed, but this is the perfect time for self-realization for black people, especially. And just how we're going to move forward. Because at the end of the day, if we as a people, it's not enough of us to be like, only straight niggas, black niggas, come on, we're going to fucking change the world. Like, it ain't enough. It ain't enough of us. It ain't enough gay niggas. You know what? Fuck them straight niggas. We just going to fucking move to our gay town and suck my dick. Like, it's not enough. We all got to be, look, we're going to have a black city. And once we get our fucking foot in the ground, then sure, we can have gay neighborhood, we can have fucking that's maybe a safe space, but everyone's welcome, and we can have good schools for us, we can have grocery stores and whatever the fuck, a commerce center,
but it has to be built together.
Yeah, exactly. Until we get to that point, we're gonna be fucked
foundationally. Absolutely.
I going back to a quick thing you did say, Danny, I do think that, like, in probably 2-ish years, we're gonna see a big explosion of black art, whether that's books, comedy specials, movies, TV shows, just because there's like everything that's been happening over the last 6 months. That's inspiration for a lot of people and like people work off of pain, people work off of suffering and stuff like that. They draw a lot of their inspiration from all that type of stuff. So I would imagine that we're going to see a lot of amazing Black content coming out soon.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know if y'all saw Ben's Facebook. I don't know if we're gonna put it on his Facebook, but even just going to Black families in their denial of just queer people or gay kids and having kids that are gay and stuff. I don't know. It's just it's going to be damn near impossible for us as people to move forward if we don't, at minimum, accept and love people for who the fuck they are. Because just because someone is gay doesn't mean they might not be a fucking genius mind in organizing something or being a great leader. And
look, Black people need to stop hating their queer children and stop sheltering sexual predators in their family.
Right, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, right. That's a whole.
They'll shun a queer child, but they'll keep the predator uncle at all the family functions. I mean, no fucking sense.
And that's why I think maybe that is why I joke about cancel culture so much, because there's so many hypocrisies. It's like, okay, we cancel a comedian for jokes, but then we don't cancel rappers for lyrics and also assaulting somebody physically, or we say this. But then we also, or we say something's okay, but then in church we don't let people that that have a either sexual welcome. Background or they maybe gay people can't come, but someone that's killed somebody can come to the church
and get redemption and get
right.
Love
so it's just like what the fuck, like it's like where are the lines? So that's why
which is why I'm realizing more and more that like the social constructs that we exist in, like the life that we live in and the rules that we follow are just that, social constructs that have been learned to us, and there really are no true boundaries. Like watching Trump do what he does and watching the shit that he says and he does every single day, I'm like, wow, like there is nothing. Like we just live in this structure that is not meant for us to survive in and strive in, yet we do. So it's like we have to make the rules. We have to decide for ourselves the lives that we want to live and experiences that we want to have. So there's really no way for me, at least in my mind, of failure unless I stop doing what I'm doing, right? Yeah. So failure in this world, failure in this life doesn't look the same way it used to last year for me. Failure now is when I just stop doing what I want to do. When I stop, what I want to do, what Torrance, what I want to do, when I stop doing that, that's when I have failed myself, because the world goes by whatever rules they make up. They've created this. They've created the loopholes and the exceptions and the substitutions and all these things to all the rules that exist, so that white people can get away with it, so that rapists can get away with it, so that murderers can get away, so that corrupt people can get away. That's
been such a crazy thing, because I made the mistake of responding to somebody on Facebook from high school, one of these white boys from high school. He was a loser in high school, and the only reason it bothered me because he said something about people dying in Chicago and like trying to politicize deaths, especially when it comes to Black deaths. It's just like, I'm not retweeting about your second cousin dying from meth, and trying to blame some political agenda on that person's dying. So it's just like, anyways, there's a lot of these white people. There's a lot of good white people, sure, but there's a lot of these white people, and even some of these niggas that are Uncle Tom, and they're they have so much faith in the structure of how things go now that it's like, all right, we can't even argue or debate these topics because you're so far in belief of this, the
system has helped them. The system has benefited. They've benefited from the current structure of the system. So why change it? Why buck like the system?
The police said this, so it's like the police said up. So now you just believe the police. So for you to just believe the police or the FBI, the same FBI that dismantled fucking Black Panthers and killing niggas with Breonna Taylor, but they said Breonna Taylor is not killed. And all this kind of shit. This white boy literally said on the Facebook post, he said, because they were talking about believing the police and shit, and I said something and about lynching. I'm like, niggas are getting lynched to this day. And some white boy had the nerve to say, there's been no lynching since the 80s. What the fuck? He said, first of all, he said there's only 3,500 registered lynchings in America, and the last lynchings haven't been since the 80s. I'm like, first of all, if that is, even if these numbers are true, okay, 3,500 niggas being killed for pretty much, illegal reasons, murders, that's a lot. That's a big number in general. I don't know if it's from a 10-year span or a 100-year span. That's a lot of people, a few people a year dying from murders, hate crimes. And then for you to say the 80s, nigga, most of our parents were born, all of our parents were born before the 80s. A lot of our parents were in college or at least high school during the
And it's not factual. It's not factual.
Yeah, it's not.
Right. And it's not factual. And it's not even factual.
You're not based
so the fact
factual.
that you said, even if that was true, nigga, my nigga, the 80s.
That's like when people. That's like when people say civil rights was like 1,000 years ago. It's like, no, that wasn't that long ago.
This white boy literally said that. I said, you know what? I'm just unfollow this. I'm gonna follow old boy, and I'm gonna leave because y'all are just so far gone that this is a pointless. And then one of them was like, oh, they said that one lynching. I know what you're talking about. That one lynching, it was deemed a suicide. I'm like, first of all, there's more than one.
That has happened.
There were like 5 in 1 week.
I'm about to say over the last couple weeks, there's literally been 5, like 4 or 5 of them, and one was deemed a suicide because that's the way that they decided to go. God bless up. But the others weren't. So don't, and that's the problem. It's like you when you make excuses for the hate that exists in your life, or the hate that you stand by, there's nothing that we have to talk about. We can't have a conversation because you refuse to acknowledge the fact that you hate so much. Like, it just is what it is. Like, there is no, like, you can't pull the wool over somebody's eyes about how much you hate somebody. Like, that's just fact, bro. Like, I see it. I see your hate pouring through. So, like, there's no way for us to get to a common like an actual conversation because it's not ignorance. It's not like you don't know. Oh no, you know. You're fully aware. You're just okay with being a racist publicly. So I am going to remove myself because you're not somebody who I even think
I ain't got no time for that.
Oh my God, hell no.
Because y'all always make fun of me.
I've learned so much.
I can even deal with the fact that you might be Republican leaning. If that's just how you fucking feel, because your parents are rich and
you benefit from that.
The idea of it. Honestly, personally, I feel like for there to be so many intersections of people, and I said this on the Room podcast, there's so many intersections of people that the fact that there's only 2 parties is asinine. It's ridiculous to think that you got gay white people, you got gay black people, you got rich black people, you got rich white people, you got poor black people. You got poor white people. You got Mexicans that are rich. You got Mexicans that don't know any English. You got fucking Indian people who don't want to claim that they're black. You got Asian motherfuckers that are pretty much white that are rich. Like, you got Africans that are rich that that don't even have the same concept of slavery in America that we do. Like, it's so many of these intersections, and then we got 2 parties. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a stand-up joke here in a couple months. But that's correct. That's like saying you can only have fucking pizza and chicken wings. It's like, hold on, nigga, I might want a sandwich. But no, sorry. You want pizza or chicken wing?
That's all you get.
And that's all you gotta fucking get.
That's all you get. I'm hungry. That's all you ever gonna get.
All you ever gonna get. There's no other option. You might have some spicy chicken wings versus some,
might be a couple different flavors, but the general food, you might get pepperoni, you might get supreme,
but you might get straight cheese. You gonna get this bread regardless, bitch.
But it's gonna be pizza,
right? It's gonna get this sauce.
That's real though. I did want to go back to one thing we were talking about slightly earlier. We're talking about, like, Torrance, you had talked about how everything is like a social construct. Nothing is really real. Like, none of this shit is set in stone.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think we've realized is how this applies to the workplace, especially for, like, Black people in the workplace. Like, a lot of the stuff that you thought was standard in the workplace, we ain't going for that shit no more. Like, we're calling out these racist companies for their practices where we work, demanding more, pay equity and all that stuff. It's being called out at a clip that I don't think has really happened before. And I'm wondering how you guys think the era of the workplace for especially for Black people will change with everything that's been happening recently, even with COVID and stuff like that. Once we do get to potentially go back to the office eventually at some point, maybe. Or do you think it will change?
We talked about this weekend too. First of all, I think any Black people that are still working or at companies, if someone asks you to join a group, a Black group, a minority group, tell them I'm not doing shit unless you give me some kind of stipend or a raise for it, because it's not my.
You mean like a task force or something, like a committee or something like that?
If I'm head or VP or even as part of the Black at Google or wherever the fuck it's called, give me another G a year or G a quarter, and I'll do the work. I'll work an extra couple hours, and because I'm gonna still have to give you my deliverables for my regular fucking job.
Yes.
So it's not my job to teach you, especially at work. Now, if it's my personal life and I choose to teach people, that should be my opt-in or opt-out. But at
that's
work,
your free time.
Exactly. At work, if I'm going to do this extra fucking work, then I need to be compensated for it, or my workload needs to be diminished so that I can spend more time to do
Torrance
this.
and I literally had this exact conversation on the phone. Was that last week? Yeah, literally, this exact conversation. I was like, Torrance, it ain't your job to do that for your company. It ain't.
And I'm gonna tell you what happened with that whole situation. I was stressed out, pissed off. Part of the reason I was just kind of over it and just overwhelmed with everything, because it was this thing of even the efforts that they were doing, I'm like, you're just doing shit. You just shooting in the dark. You got the lights off in this motherfucker and you just firing and you're missing. You're missing the target each and every time. And it's disrespectful. It's all these things. And I'm like, there's resources available. And I'm like, I'm exhausting myself, y'all. I am yelling at people, literally cussing people out. And then it hit me. I talked to Kyle on the phone, and then I had a moment of just sort of over that weekend, this past last weekend, it kind of hit me, and a moment of clarity. I was just like, oh hell no, nigga, you better protect your energy, because they trying to kill you. They are trying to kill you, not the same way that the police are, but they're trying to do it a different way, where it breaks you down internally, and that's the worst trying, really truly the most manipulative trying to kill that exists. So I had went off on everyone or whatever, and someone in leadership reached out to me and was like, hey, do you have a moment to talk or whatever? I heard you wanted to speak about some of the things that were happening, or blah, 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 blah. And I was like, actually, I have nothing to say at this time.
I'm good.
I said, I will let you know in the future. I will reach out to you directly next time. I want to have a conversation, but I'm okay on this conversation, because I'm not having it anymore. Because I talked to my therapist on Wednesday about that, me doing that, and she was like,
bravo.
There's nothing, there was no reason for you to do it. It was literally a choice, and you took that back. You took your life back. You took your energy back, and that is huge. That is powerful. That is something that needs to be, celebrated, that you're taking it, making that decision to take care of yourself in this capacity, because literally it was it was so bad. Oh.
Are y'all bringing y'all full Black ass selves to work once the offices reopen? Or if you were to ever get a full-time 9-to-5 office job, Daniel?
Yeah, if I ever had to, I already kind of would, because at a certain point, I definitely eased myself into it, but at a certain point, I already knew I was good enough. And with my dress, sneakers, jeans, and t-shirts, I never really wore collar shirts. I don't wear collar shirts in real life. This is a fucking formal event. Hats every day.
Oh, that's how I dress. That's my work uniform.
Yeah, I'm talking in slang if I want to.
Before, bro.
I'm joking around. So yeah, but that, of course, that's not a caricature almost of Blackness. That's not what Blackness is. So it's, to a degree, it's almost it's hard to.
Or for example, so would you pull back on the amount of code switching that you do in the office or something like that?
Yeah, I did for sure. Or even back before shit happened, I did.
Moving forward, would you code switch less or not code switch at all?
Yeah, my peers that I worked with, my fellow managers, I'm talking like how I talk. I'm not dropping nigga, but
yeah.
If I cuss a little bit, whatever, like I'm not really cool with that, or I'm not rocking with that.
I got a whole bunch of white coworkers that be cursing a storm up at work. So
right, and I would cuss, but not to where my intelligence is like being in question.
Into question, yeah.
Challenge, yeah. I think for me, I look at leadership at my company and then at other companies was like, oh, you really don't know shit. You just know how to do this little business shit real fast. But you ain't special, motherfucker. You don't know nothing. You know nothing
so
at
many
all.
of these people don't know shit.
So for me, I was like, oh my goodness. Why am I thinking that because you have this company and you're older and you're wiser and you got all this wit? Oh, you know nothing. You know absolutely nothing at all. So therefore, for me, I'm going to just go about my business and do my thing. Like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. There was a thing at work and they were like, oh, can you? No, I can't. I don't
do anything extra. I'm not joining any task force. I'm not doing none of that extra. If it's not in my job description or my normal work stuff, I'm not doing that extra stuff. You're getting free labor out of me, and then jobs try to be like, they try to have those core value statements like tending to the team and being part of the team. It's always about the team. Sure. What's that team do for me when I leave this office at 5:30 p.m.? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, what when I have to go live my black ass life? What is the team doing for me then? Is the
Don't
team,
put me on any fucking brochures.
Team paying my bills? Right. Like, is the team keeping me safe? No. Fuck the team.
It's such a weird. A lot of these companies, and I learned this relatively early. A lot of these companies try to make you drink the Kool-Aid of that company, especially in startup land, but pretty much anywhere.
Absolutely.
Try to make you drink the Kool-Aid because maybe historically you could stay somewhere and you could actually live off these wages and you had a consistent job. Whereas maybe it's now or even always has been, you just understand that you're here to do a job and the product that you're selling is probably most of the time not the most life-changing. I mean, for you kind of, Kyle, it is, but it's not always.
That's real though.
It's not always the most like, we're doing something that is good for people.
Yeah.
People need this. And the effort that I put into selling this isn't going to necessarily save lives or whatever.
Yeah. When I was working at the ad agency in LA, I was super stressed out. This is like when I was an entry-level employee at that job. And one of the supervisors, he pulled me aside and he was like, bro, we're not curing cancer. Like, we're not doing brain surgery. He was like, relax a little bit, like take time for yourself or whatever. It's like, because we're doing advertising, like the world will go on type of shit or whatever. And like after he told me that, I was like, oh, like the light bulb went off.
That switch, it was like, oh.
Yeah, because I think that that is like a hard thing for. I think that it's one of the things that takes a while for you to be working for a little bit to really realize that. Because like when you come out of college, when you're entry level, you're trying to get noticed. You're trying to get your shine on. You know what I'm saying?
Move up that ladder.
You're trying to move up the ladder and really
so that you can make money, support
establish yourself,
have that career.
Make sure people will look out for you moving forward, so you can have recommendations going forward. So of course, like when you're younger, you're gonna do those. I mean, we all did it, like grind, no breaks type of stuff. And then when you get 4 or 5 years in the workforce, you're like,
this is
fuck all that.
Y'all stupid.
I'm gonna take me a nap.
Exactly
right. I can't count the number of times that I would stay at work until 9:00 at night, past midnight. Like I've been at work until 1-2 in the morning before, and then worked a full work day on the weekends. Now, Kyle don't work past 5:30. That laptop gets closed at 5:30 on the dot. I'm not getting paid. Bye-bye. Work over.
The crazy thing about it is too, because I already did. Y'all already know I quit a job very fast.
Oh yeah, you quit a job.
And the craziest thing is once you get laid off from a job, that's your fucks go and do a whole nother level of like, hold on. These niggas, this could happen to where I get. Just imagine if I put all of my life into these people, into this role, into this product, and did all this fucking black hat Glassdoor shit, and then y'all laid me off without warning and gave me a little 3-month severance and what all this bullshit.
My daddy said, if it's up to them,
come on now,
they're gonna choose them each and every time.
If you died today, your job will be posted the next day or on Tuesday.
Because we need someone.
They will send out a RIP email to the company, and then they will move on with their fucking lives.
These companies don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Sure, so if maybe you work at a small, it's you and mom and pop, and y'all are fucking the number one,
But when you're at these big ass companies, you're a cog in the wheel.
Yeah.
You're a wheel in the cog, whatever that phrase is.
Motherfuckers, and you're the only marketing guy for Joe's Pizza, then okay, that might be different. But like these little companies, Bleacher Report and Complex and all these companies are started by a couple cats, typically dudes, typically white dudes. They get a whole bunch of money. Half of these companies end up exiting, but they might still have the founders as like a chairman or an acting CEO. And then they're looking at shit at such a high level. They're not even in the office every day.
I don't think that Mark Echo is at all involved in Complex anymore.
Right. Even if he is, he's in his office and in a meeting room and fucking back in his gone. He said,
hey y'all. This means I need to be here?
You would probably never see Mark Echo at the Complex office if he's still involved.
Right, exactly. So it's just like these niggas are not, they're not intertwined in the day-to-day. And it's unfortunate maybe because even the good ones to a degree end up not being able to be as involved with the day-to-day as someone who's been a part of two companies that have exited. And you realize, like, damn, at a certain point, it gets to that 300, 400, 500 employee mark. Like, these CEOs just can't come and eat lunch with people and can't do all this shit. You got multiple offices across the country and shit. But that's the name of the game. They wanted to be a $1 billion business. They didn't want to be just
that's what you want.
Right. Yeah. So,
I don't know. Even with these companies, like trying to get, I guess, in the idea of like them trying to get out of their practices or whatever. Like, there's a company. I watched a lot of their cooking videos, Bon Appetit Test Kitchen or whatever.
Oh yeah, what happened? I heard about.
So what happened is that these people, they have a group of people in the test kitchen, and they made videos. They've been making videos for the past like 3-4 years, right? And it's only been white people of color. People of color have not been in those until like the last, I want to say, year and a half, started being able to make videos. But they weren't paying black people or people of color. Sorry, I can't say black people because there were no black people. They weren't paying the brown people who were making these videos. However, there were other people who were like making $20,000 a video, $10,000, $15,000 a video.
Supreme paid.
Like supreme paid, right? And so what happened was recently, while, obviously with everything that's happening in the world, one of the people who's in the test kitchen, one of my favorites, Sola, she was like, oh, by the way, they're not paying me. They don't pay me for anything. So what happened was they found a picture of the editor-in-chief in basically blackface. And so they were like, I'm calling for him to resign, number one. And number two, they're also not paying minorities. So what's up? And so then it became this whole thing of just being like, how are they not getting paid? How are people making these videos and not getting compensated? And then,
because I was watching one video, and it would be like some of the white test kitchen people, they would come and ask her, what's the name of this ingredient? Or how do I even make this dish? And it was like they were asking her all these questions and shit like that.
She's so damn talented that it doesn't make sense. Like, they'll come to her and be like, oh, what do you think I should do? She said, oh, you know what? You should throw some mozz in there. Like, they were Claire, who does like the pastry person, who does like gourmet makes. So she takes desserts and makes them gourmet style, like just typical, not just desserts, but like Doritos and Skittles. She's done all kinds of shit. So they were doing tacos, like the chocolate tacos that they sell in the store or whatever, like the ice cream, whatever.
Yeah, choco tacos.
Yeah, choco tacos. That's exactly what it's called. So they go to her. They go to her, and she's like, oh, like, how do you think I could do this? And she's like, oh, put some mozz in there. Like, it's a taco. Like, actually make it, like, taste like a taco, but also like a sweet and savory kind of mixed thing, and like really fuck it up. And she was like, oh, that's a great idea. Like, Sola by far is one of my favorites. She's one of the most experienced people there in the test kitchen, and does not get paid for the videos. She has charisma. She's excellent. it pisses me off because I was a huge fan of this network, and I don't, you don't know their practices because you're just consuming the content.
Exactly.
Right.
But when you hear it, you're like, what the fuck? So now in all of her videos, pay Sola. When is Sola getting paid? Have y'all decided to pay Sola yet? Like that's all you see all over the place now.
And it'll continue.
The thing about fucking professional life is that it's, as someone who's hired people and like really been able to control who's on my team in different roles. I mean, only at one company, but it's really not hard to like take a conscious effort to diversify your team and like diversify your time spent to promote people. Like it's really not. I promise you, it's not. Like I've had teams of 3 or 4, and I've had teams of I think 8 or 9. I've had teams of 12. I'm sorry, that's my most. And it's like if you have a team of 8 niggas and one person is getting promoted and that's another dude, or gets fired, and you have one girl, it's so easy to be like, okay, well, I need to try to find a girl. You know, it's as simple as that. As simple as that. Say, you know what, this person's good. And if there's another team has an opening, like they can take them, but I need to reserve this seat for another woman, which I've done before plenty of time. It's really, or even go to your boss. I was on to my boss, like, yeah, I only have one chick on my team, so for her comfortable, you know, because I know if she at least has one other chick, she's going to feel better and be more motivated and feel more, you know, it's all, I mean, to a degree of selfish, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you would want your team members or your employees to feel comfortable in the workplace. And
I want the dudes, when the girls outperform the dudes, or at least half of them, if not all of them, I want them to feel some kind of way that the chicks out beating their ass. They work hard. Like, it all works itself out, even if you come at it from a pure selfish way. Like all my teams were always like that. To where I'm like,
diversity, it never makes sense to not have a diverse team.
I don't want a whole bunch of black football players on my team, because all we're gonna talk about is sports. And you know, somebody's single, they're gonna talk about Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. You know, I wanted to be some chicks, I want some white chicks, I want some white boys, I want some niggas. I want all that shit, because it's gonna help balance and force people to raise their game up, because no one wants to be the minority that's not doing well as other, or the white boy that's not, subconsciously at least. I don't want to be a white boy that loses to a black girl, even if I'm cool with her. And
that's real.
I'm a black girl, I got a fucking chip on my shoulder. Like, that's just how this shit works, bro. And it's so easy. It doesn't make you less productive as a manager or as a hiring manager to do that for your team.
Honestly, it looks really bad though. Like, as it looks bad on management when you like look up the ladder and it's all homogenous. Like it looks poorly across the company.
Like my last company, we had some chicks that were in high levels, like C-level, but everybody was white. My old boss, he ended up being a director, so they were pretty good about sex wise, but as far as like high level people of color, like when I first started in the company, I started was 7, 8 years.
For example, like I work at a predominantly white woman nonprofit, right? Not gonna say which one, but for the longest time until like 2 or 3 months ago, I was the only male on my team of 12, I think, and one of 2 black people. There's one other black girl when I started. So it was just us. And then they added another black girl at the end of last year. We finally got a black dude.
That's
whatever. And then now we have like one trans person on our team as well. So it's like,
you have to look at your fucking team and be like, yo, everybody look like, maybe because I'm black.
And then when you look at the directors, all white women.
Like,
all 4 of our directors are white women.
And sure, maybe if you feel like you're a minority, going back to our point earlier, like if I'm a minority, I feel okay. I feel good. I will sleep good at night knowing I have all white women on my team. But maybe I feel like I'm just that marginalized, and that's another argument for another day. But even still, bro, like I don't think I would have a company and my board is all black dudes.
Like, how can you advocate?
No, it wouldn't make sense.
It just wouldn't make sense. It's even the same. Sure, if us 3 started a company, and sure, we're all the co-founders, and you're CEO, I'm CTO, and somebody else is something. I'm gonna, at least the second or third nigga we hire is gonna be like, let me just try to get somebody that doesn't look like us.
Yeah, you'd want to diversify.
Yes.
Because that is silly. You can't advocate for a group truly, like actually. Now, I'm not saying that. Let's be clear. You can't know the needs of that particular group as much as someone who is a part of that group does, right? So you not having that person in that space, you not creating or having, Black women or, in that space, right, in leadership at your company, how can you advocate for the struggles of, other people? Like, how can you do that effectively and efficiently and authentically? There is no way to truly do it. So I just, goodness.
And when you realize in 2020, when there's so many different kinds of people that are getting highly educated, if you're doing it intentionally, if you don't have a diverse workforce, sure, some can be more diverse than others. I get it. And maybe not every company needs to be 50-50, whatever. But if you got hundreds of people, but you only have 400 employees, but you only have 5 or 6, 7 Black people, and
it's like your company should be representative of like the U.S. population,
right? Because there's so many HBCUs with kids that are sharp as fuck, even our kids that even went to PWIs. Like, you got so many different tools to help you recruit on LinkedIn, all this kind of shit that recruiters on your team that can say, look, we need to get more diverse. And there's even fucking companies that
specialize in that stuff.
Yeah, I volunteered at companies that specialize in people getting into entry-level sales jobs, and it's mostly people of color that are in these little workshops. They train them for like 8 weekends or whatever. And then they get like SDR roles. Like,
like boot camps and stuff like that.
Yeah, bro, there's so much shit out here that if you don't, we're going to just talk about this all day, but there's so much shit that you can do that if you're listening to this and your company doesn't do have a diverse hiring practice, or you're just not diverse, and next time they fucking ask you and you feel like you want to say something, call them motherfuckers out, man, if you feel like you want to. Because it's so easy.
If you're in the space. If you're in the space to do that, then go ahead. If you have time, if you got time,
I don't suggest doing it. And I don't suggest doing it too many times because they should pay you for it.
That's enough, exactly.
I was thinking about starting some kind of like comedy, like diversity with comedy consulting company, because I need to get a check. What we're watching?
Last night, actually, I started this new show on Netflix. It's a docu-series. It's called Home Game.
Oh, I saw that.
It's actually like really, really good. So
it's like sports, right?
Yeah, it's like interesting sports from around the world that are like very hyper local events or stuff like that for the most part. But it just goes into like the culture of that sport or whatever game, how it was founded, how it impacts people like in the area and stuff like that. I was up to like almost 3 a.m. watching it. It was really good. Got a couple more episodes left of that one. And then The Chi.
Woo!
Really haven't seen many people talking about The Chi yet, but that came back last weekend. I was very curious as how they were going to write Brandon Mitchell out of the show. Is it Brandon Mitchell? Jason Mitchell? We know a Brandon Mitchell. Sorry, Jason Mitchell, I think his name is. How they were going to write him out the show. They gave that man a closed casted funeral and called it a day.
They didn't spend any more fucking writing out. Look, we gonna
no time.
And her mom's gonna be depressed and fucking
said call it a day off.
Call it a day. I'm not mad at them for just get to the point.
They had, and they didn't drag it out, which I appreciated. They ripped the Band-Aid off right away.
They didn't really say how he died, but maybe they'll.
I'm assuming we'll get to that.
Hopefully they do. If not, that would be kind of weird. But yeah, that's a show. It's funny. If Lena Waithe's gonna do anything, she gonna represent for her squad. She had a girl with the strap out with the honeymoon within the first.
I will say though, like that was the Paige and I had watched that together, and I was like, this is the first time I've seen like a Black lesbian sex scene like on TV. Like I was like sitting there trying to think about, how many times have you seen a Black lesbian sex scene where they're pulling out a strap?
I don't know if that might be the first time I've ever seen the dick
on like regular ass like TV shows. I couldn't personally think of any where I've seen Black lesbians.
Pulled the meat out. Like, what's up?
Yeah. See, you're struggling to think of one right now. You're racking your brain towards it. I thought it was a nice like representation type of thing.
So I'll be watching these shows. So I'm trying to think if I didn't seen tomorrow.
And I feel like it was a different chick than last. I think Ashley said she's a different chick than last season. Because she was a lot more masculine.
I thought it was just like a hair change.
Maybe. Ashley thought it was a different chick. But she came out with the fucking strap.
Like, looking.
It's time to get it in.
But yeah, it was like, oh, okay. That's what we on this season. Turn up.
The way this shit, she pulled it out, the shit just like flapped like a fucking. That shit had me weak. Like, bro, what the fuck is going on? I just wasn't prepared for it. I'm like, damn. Yeah, well,
the other thing, it was middle age lesbians. It wasn't like it was like some 20-year-old like what you would typically think of like a lesbian sex scene. It was middle-aged aunties.
Representation. Yeah. She said representation. What's up?
It was real.
No, there's another Lena Waithe fucking show that it was some.
She had that show on BET.
Oh, the 20s joint. That's what it is.
I did not see 20s. I
did not watch 20s.
I have not watched 20s. I meant to. Bro. That's on my list.
It's not a profound show, but it's a good show.
It's a good show. Yeah,
I will add it to the list.
That's on my list.
Show. It's another LA show.
What else y'all been watching?
Characters and shit. I feel like there might have been a Glizzy in there.
I haven't been watching too much television, I think. What'd you say?
Ignore.
Okay.
Ignore.
I said Glizzy. Glizzy's the funniest fucking word to me.
I haven't been watching too much television, I think. But the only thing I've been doing right now is getting caught up on How to Get Away with Murder. Like, that's the really only thing.
Well, it's over now, so.
Exactly, but that's season 6 is on Netflix. So I'm finishing season 6.
I was thinking about starting it from scratch because I fell off in like season 3 or 4.
Yeah, no, it's rewatchable hands down. Like I might do that at some point in my life for sure. Rewatch all.
Yeah, I'm rewatching Black AF right now, just cause.
Oh, okay.
Like it got renewed. It got renewed for season 2. So I was like, let me go back and watch it. And I think on the second watch, I'm being very purposeful and like not holding my cell phone or like looking at my laptop while I'm watching it. So making sure like I'm fully zoned in on the actual show.
Yeah, and what they're talking about.
I'm like, I think I'm about halfway through right now, but there was like a lot of jokes that I missed in the first watch. Just because I was only halfway paying attention. Because I remember like not audibly laughing in the first 2 episodes when the first time I watched it, but this time I was dying. In the first 2 episodes, it was like, I'm paying attention for real this time or whatever.
I actually know, and like, I always tell people, like, everyone who talks about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I couldn't even finish the first episode, so you didn't give it a chance, but you give all these other shows a chance.
I just hate maybe my root for everybody black stem. I think it might have started from that Black as Fuck show. Just like stop trying to be so fucking. Niggas just love to hate on niggas, whether they sucking dick or making TV shows.
I think that people love hating on Kenya Barris. I think that we talked about this already too.
But it's just like, what? I mean, the shows aren't that bad. Like, okay, the shows aren't fantastic, but there's a lot of bad
TV that everyone watches. So
that everybody watches.
Y'all watch some bad shit.
It's the fact that we always hold our own shit to a much higher standard than we would anyone else's content.
I get it, and sure, but nigga, at some point we gotta y'all gonna. Anyways, final thoughts. I gotta use the bathroom.
Touche. I'm hungry as hell. Final thoughts. Damn. Conserve your energy, protect yourself. People gonna be pulling at you left and right as things get worse, as things get better, as things get crazier. Conserve your energy, keep that for yourself. Love on yourself the same way you love on the people that you love.
That's real. I say everything similar to Torrance. Make sure you're making time for you. Even like I know that we take a lot of time like reach out to our friends and see how they're doing and stuff like that, but make sure you're taking like an inventory of how you're feeling inside and like do what you need to do to take care of yourself, whether that's like taking a mental health day from work or taking an actual like stay at home vacation and like not logging on to work at all or whatever. Just make sure you're protecting yourself and doing what you got to do for you.
My final thought is we are our own tribe and we got to protect our tribe. And I'd rather someone who I don't agree with or have the same lifestyle sexually be around me than someone who doesn't agree with me existing as a black person. And not to say
Absolutely.
I diminish I don't want to diminish their lifestyle to the point of like them being racist is the same thing. But as a Black person, for us to move forward, we gotta protect and root for everybody Black, period. Black women, you know, LGBT, whatever the fuck it is. Because ultimately, that's the first intersection that we gotta fucking triumph and get rolling so that we can build wherever the fuck we want to build. And that division, that is, you know, whatever. We already talked for 2 hours about it.
Yeah. We didn't even hit 2 hours yet. We slacking.
Damn, bitch ass niggas. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all for listening.
It's been real.
Stay blessed.
Deuces, y'all.